Welcome everybody to another episode of the Base Fuego y Sonrisa podcast. We got your boy Fuego.
And it's Sonrisa time.
Yo. Alright guys, so we're doing a little something different today. Today, your boy is going to come off with a fresh new freestyle from the top of the dome. You know what I'm saying?
Can you say that one more time, please?
Fresh new freestyle on the Base.
Let's go. Everybody's waiting for this.
Alright.
This new freshness. Let's go.
The moment you all been waiting for. Let go. Yo, freestyling today, yes, a Monday. I'm going kinda lazy, but I'm not though, because I'm motivated with the Gary Vee video that says fuck Mondays. If you don't know, follow the page. If you don't know what that means, go out in a rage. I don't know. This is a page I turned out today when I was freestyling with the mind in hand, and I got the go to make it become like the order that you always ask for when you're telling them gods to bless your life and your families. That's what we asking, what we searching for, please. And to the enemies, best believe you're gonna breeze off to the slowness. I get it though. To the enemies though, I gotta say this. Hopefully the empathy grows indeed to be the greatest person you could ever be. Look in the mirror though, look at myself, god dang it, hella fresh though. Fuego with a freestyle. Got my boy Sonrisa, we killing it. Bringing smiles to your families though. Apparently though, it's something y'all always ask and we're grateful to give it to y'all. Hey. What? Exclusive. We do exclusives here at the podcast. Exclusive from your boy Fuego with another freestyle for the mind.
Oh shit, you guys heard that? That was exclusive, only on the podcast. You can't get there anywhere else.
Man, I started slow on that one though, for real. I was like, I didn't know what to say. Then I just got the groove.
Because then I can see those gears working. I'm like, what? He's pulling shit from straight out of the dome.
Hell yeah.
He doesn't even lie. Nah.
Yeah, do it live on the camera. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for a minute though. You know, it's been like 4 years. Right? Yeah, like 4 years.
They're all on your Instagram, aren't they?
I honestly cleaned up my Instagram. If you check it out now, I only have 3 pictures.
Oh really?
Yeah, I cleaned that all out. I unfollowed hella people.
Really? So can I ask you this?
Huh?
What was your reasoning behind like this new like transformation?
Well, with Instagram, the reason why I did it was because since I'm leaning towards moving into like my Fuego Soul Entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, I strictly want to keep whatever I do on there strictly for that page. Now I want to just make that separation. That separation from
personal to like
personal and then business. Like now, like I mean, I still on my stories I still post like motivational stuff, and that's just because that's who I am and that's just what I'm gonna do, and I don't really care what anybody has to say because I'm not really trying to affect anybody.
Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. Like I mean, the people who follow me, I mean, we're all the same age, so I'm not really gearing towards them. Like if they like my messages, then I appreciate it, but you know, I have it open for like anybody, like any age at any time, you know. I'm catering to the whole world. Like, hey, like we're not catering, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, I'm just trying to influence whoever I can to build up that motivation and be the best version of themselves that they can be or aspire to be.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's
you want the best for everybody. Sorry,
but no, yeah. So that's my thing. So that's kind of why I took out all my freestyles, and then I now when I post, it's only on my Fuego Soul Entertainment page. You know what I'm saying? Follow along. You know what I'm saying? Follow it on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Fuego Soul
exclusive content, guys. You don't want to miss anywhere else.
At Fuego Soul ENT.
Fuego Soul ENT.
You know,
no spaces or anything like that.
No. Yeah, and everything's lowercase. And yeah, just you know, keep improving and make those freestyles actually worth your time and you know whatever moment you have, some entertainment too. So yeah, that's kind of why I did it. Now my regular one is just my regular one. You know, it's private. You know, if we're cool, then what's up? And you know, that's just where I'm at there.
No, that's good. That's cool. That's cool that you finally made a decision to distinguish like your personal life and your professional life.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What are your goals like with your entertainment business? I know you say you're building a business, right? And I've always just been curious, like, what's your goals in your entertainment business?
Yeah, check your mic. Maybe that's what what it is. No, the volume on it. That's exactly what it is. It's right.
Oh, I see.
That's exactly what it is.
This is why I'm not a tech guy.
Yeah, I was wondering why my volume was so high, but
That makes more sense.
Yeah, now I totally get it. Oh, brother, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So you say you're making an entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to separate your personal life from your professional life. So my question to you is like, what's the goal with the entertainment business?
Man, I guess it's more on an inspiration note. Like, I guess make, like if I ever shoot like a cool little like commercial or like a funny video, like I want to be funny sometimes, but I want to lean more towards like the motivational side to inspire people, to get people out there. I know it's not like the funnest thing to do or like the coolest thing to do, but to me that's just who I am. That's just what I really like. Like I like doing funny stuff, but like I mean I'll do them on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Holla at TikTok if anything.
What?
I'm just just plugged in. But anyways,
it's okay.
But anyways,
plug that shit in. Plug it in. Plug it in. You know.
I'm saying so at Fuego _. No, I'm sorry. At Angel _Fuego _Ion. That is my TikTok and my regular Instagram. Same thing. Same name.
Being consistent, I see.
Yeah. So on TikTok, yeah, I'm a little more funnier on there because like there's more things you can do on there that makes it funny. Yeah. But I don't want to be seen as like the funny guy. Like I make funny videos all the time. Like I think it's cool that people do it. Like I don't have nothing against it, but that's just who I am. It's not like that. For me, it's more like motivational, a little more like not serious, but a little more like, all right, like get on your stuff, like get responsible, get your life better. And that's just how I feel. Like I thought about like what route to go, like like do I just try to be like when I first was starting to learn how to rap, like I was like, do I first just turn up, or like a turn up rapper, or do I just make like only songs about like sex, which I mean those songs are cool, but you know what I'm saying. But I mean,
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Hey,
the 3 C's. You know what the 3 C's are?
National Simp Day.
Nah, maybe. But then there's the 3 C's. You know what the 3 C's are?
No. What are they?
The 3 C's. So I used to work at Target. That was one of my jobs. Like hell long ago.
Shout out Target.
So at Valentine's Day come up, it never fails. There was a 3 C's, and it can you just make it get? Can you just guess?
3 C's. Candy.
Close.
Card. Nah, I don't know.
All right. So the first one is chocolate.
Oh, okay, chocolate.
Everybody loves chocolate. Okay. trying to buy the honeys with chocolate.
Okay.
The second one is candles.
Oh, candles.
Yeah,
okay.
Candles.
Okay.
Different types. I guess everybody likes their fucking apple cinnamon and their fucking whatever breeze.
They smell good, by the way. Yeah, I feel it.
So that was always the second one, and then the third one. Can you guess the third one? It's pretty.
Chocolate. I don't know.
Think outside the box on this one.
Man, that's a hard task for me. Cocktails? I don't know, drink?
Close. It's what happens after cocktails.
Crash?
It happens after the cocktail, before the crash, and it takes 2 people.
I don't know, cuddle? Cause sex
so
is
close. You're so close.
Sex is
man.
S, so I can't use it.
Man, you're so close. You're on the edge.
I don't know.
Condoms.
Oh, come on, Angel.
It would always be chocolate, candles, and condoms. That was the 3 best sellers.
Wait, they had a Target?
Yeah, Target all the time.
What?
All the time. That was Valentine's Day. It was always those 3 things.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
There's some combination, and occasionally we'll have a card and stuff like that. But chocolate, candles, and condoms.
Damn, fresh. I like that. I know what to get them for. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that.
Yeah, that shit was hella funny. He would always see like a dude he'd buy like 3 boxes of chocolate, and then he'll have like 2 different scented candles, and then a box of condoms. Trojans.
It was going down. Valentine's.
I
think Valentine's is like on the weekend, right? I think.
Yeah, it's the 14th. It's February 14th.
No, but like, do you know what day it falls in?
This year it falls on Sunday.
All right, it's only like 6 days away.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, I forgot it's February. Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Sunday this year. It always falls on the 14th.
Oh, it's on Sunday this year?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, so.
Shit, good thing I work.
Keeps you busy off other things, right?
See, girl, I wanted to, but I got work.
Yeah. Other responsibilities?
Nah, just.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit. I just wanted to tell a story, and
so what's going on?
I'm such a storyteller. I love anything with stories. So books, movies, games, anything that has like a good story. That's kind of my obsession, and that's just who I am.
Damn, nice.
I can't help it, but I just wanted to tell stories. So imagine
that's who you are, man. What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
That's who I am. That's part of who I am. So imagine you're like in your house or whatever. And then you get a call, and this call is like really unexpected. It's kind of like in the middle of something. You're at work, you get a call, and then you find out that one of your family members, they had COVID. And you're thinking, well, this family member, they're doing all right. They work a good job. They take care of themselves and everything. So you're worried because like it's a serious thing, but you're not really worried. And so, they do the whole 10-day quarantine, everything changed, right? And so you're like, okay, first day's cool, second day's cool, and your mind is at ease until the 10th day. And then the 10th day comes, and then you hear from a family member that the other family member that had COVID is now having issues with like breathing and everything. So you're like, fuck. And so you know what happens next, right? You know what happens next?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens? So the family member is having a hard time breathing. So then we take them. That family member has to be taken to the hospital. So you take them to the hospital, and you're thinking, okay, well they can help them. They have the drugs. They got whatever, right? That person will come out stronger, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can come out, and we'll see them another day. Yeah, but we all know that. Taking a family member into the hospital, that can be a crapshoot. Sometimes, you can see them, and sometimes they might not come back. So it's like, you're taking a chance. So you're like, your other family member takes them to the hospital, and so this family member then goes inside the hospital. You're thinking, okay, hopefully, they'll give him the right medicine. He'll come out okay. Again, he's a very strong, healthy person. He's not a person that does any drugs or anything like that. He's pretty healthy and strong and very resilient. He's been through other shit. He's been through gunshots and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So this person will come out of it. This been through a lot through his life and everything. So you think, okay. So first day it's like it's going okay. The second day goes, his oxygen levels go down. You're thinking, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Fuck, like that's when you get the news that you're gonna get he's gonna be intubated, right? And you're thinking, okay, at least he'll be intubated, help oxygen. Hopefully, you hear stories like people coming out a few days later and everything. So they intubate him, that means he's gonna be on, that's technically life support. And so because his lungs aren't working like the way they're supposed to. And so he gets intubated. Again, you're trying to be optimistic because, the alternative isn't great. You're trying to be optimistic, but as a son and who's been in, who knows about medicine a little bit, that once you get intubated, it's hard to come out because you're like pretty much in a coma, right? You're induced coma. So you're just waiting. The third day after you're getting intubated, things are looking good. Oxygen levels are back to normal. They're at 98%. Things are looking good. Like things are, like we can probably the kids are excited. Everybody's looking forward to seeing this other family member come out alive and see another day. This family member was very close to everybody's heart, right? And then the fourth day comes, and then in the middle of work, you get a call from a brother or a sister and telling you that the condition's getting worse, that that the kidneys are failing, the liver's starting to take a hit, the lungs are taking a hit. You know, if this family member makes it alive, you know, it might not come out the same person. So you're thinking, okay, hopefully, you know, it sucks, you know, it's terrible news. But, you know, again, there's always a chance that a person comes out the other end and it might come out different. You know, it might be in a O2 tank or whatever, but we'll still be alive. And then about 5 hours later, you get the call that you're not expecting. The call that you're at your house watching TV or whatever and just kind of going through the motions, and the call that you wish you never got. And so you find out that the family member passed away, and all due to COVID. And so that this whole story that I'm telling you in detail, the story was about my dad. And so he passed away January 19th on around 5:30 p.m. So I'm telling you this story because it's real. I'm telling you because I told you before, and I'm going to continue to tell you again. This is a person. This is a real thing. And if you don't believe it, you can try to talk to me about it, and I can tell you the whole story again. And I'm glad to, you know, tell you specifics and, you know, a little bit more detail. But this is real, guys. This isn't a joke. You're either gonna know somebody who lost somebody. Sorry. You're gonna know somebody who lost somebody, or you're gonna lose somebody. I tell you this because it happened to my family, and it can happen to yours. So every time you think about going to parties, we're going out, we're doing something stupid, where it involves a lot of people, and you're not wearing your mask, it can happen either to you. You can either carry it, you can bring it to somebody in your family. It's a real thing. So I tell you this, you know, as somebody who lost a family member, and to this day, I am still coping with the loss. All my family members are still coping with the loss. It doesn't even feel real because I saw my dad on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then, you know, 3 weeks later, he passed away. So, like, it's like you see them and then they're not there anymore, and it's hard to believe it because it happened so fast. But anyway, I tell you this to warn you and to tell you that it's a real thing, and if you don't take your precautions, you might have the same results, you know. And of course, you know, everybody thinks it's not going to happen to them until it does. You know, we have this cognitive dissonance where we don't believe something happens until it does. And, you know, I understand some people don't want to believe it's real, and some people don't want to take the precautions, but, you know, it's a real thing. And, you know, there have been people that have passed away that didn't believe it's real until they're literally on their deathbed, going on Facebook Live, telling people that it's a real thing. So, I tell you this, you know, as a friend, as somebody who lost a family member, you know, if you don't want to believe it, then that's on you. But just remember that you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting your family members at risk. And if you don't want to believe me, I can show you all my brothers and sisters can tell you the same thing, and they can tell you my dad passed away due to COVID complications, and that's what happened. And so, you know, if you want to take risk and be irresponsible and just be a fuckhead and do whatever you want because you think it's not going to happen, well, you could be that one person that has it and doesn't have symptoms and gives it to your entire family. You could be in a workplace that doesn't take care of their people, and people are not taking it seriously, and get it there. You know, you have to be real careful with this damn thing. It's sneaky. You know, one day you see somebody, and the next you might not see them again. It's that serious. So if people do, if you are 65 plus, and you do want to get, that's in Contra Costa County, we are seeing people that 65 plus, we have the vaccine. Okay, be responsible. Try to convince them to get their vaccine, because at the end of the day, last thing you want to do is see somebody, in a grave under ashes, or underground, or in a tomb, or whatever. You still want to be able to enjoy them while they're still there. Because that can happen. So, go to CC, I think it's cchealth.org/vaccinations. Sign up for your MyChart and get those 65 plus people vaccinated. We're trying to save lives here. I don't know, before I wasn't really trying to push the vaccine, but now I'm pushing it more just because, I don't want to see other families go through the same thing. And if your family member can get vaccinated, then why not, man? Like, I understand there's a lot of fear, like, what are the long-term side effects of the vaccine? And there's a lot of evidence to show that we don't know that. Of course, obviously we don't know that there are long-term side effects, but what we do know is that it protects you from COVID. And COVID can and will take your life. It doesn't discriminate against race, gender, sex, it doesn't matter. It will take your life, or take your life somebody around you. So it's really important that if you do have somebody over 65 plus, to go to your cchealth.org/vaccinations and get vaccinated, and try to save lives here. I lost my family member to this damn virus, and I don't want anybody else to lose somebody else. So do your part. That's my spiel.
Thank you, by the way. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Straight up, just like since day one, like we've been saying it on the podcast, like just follow regulations. I know COVID is not the coolest thing for anybody. We're not enjoying it, but we try every day our best to, take precaution and be well aware of, the effects that we can bring into other people's lives. Like you can go out and party and think you don't have anything, then you go to a friend's house who has like 5 family members, and then you spread the virus. Like I think it's a real thing. That's why I try my best not even to go out, to big rallies or anything. Like I don't it sounds cool, like it sounds like a good time, but okay, I come back here and then I'm by myself, so I think that's really cool because I can quarantine alone. But then it's like, okay, what if I go to like your house, or what if I go to another friend's house and their family's there, and then they get sick and something happens? Like, I don't know, I just don't think it's very responsible to be doing stuff like that. It's like,
or let's say, let's just play devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
I know you have a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's pretend she came here for the holidays, you went to a party, and you gave it to your daughter. I mean, that's a big, like, imagine living with that. I mean, that's a big, right? And people who have kids, there's a lot of misinformation out there too, and I wish there wasn't, but we're living in a overloaded information age where there's a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So you have to make sure you check your source, and you check, the information. But this is a real thing, guys. Like, if it can affect me, it can affect you. And, you would hate to give it to one of your kids or to one of your parents and then have them suffer. Yeah. I mean, luckily for kids, I mean, they're not as likely to pass away as somebody over 65. Or my dad was 62 and he was going to turn 63. But, again, we always hear about stories about people over 65. But then my dad was 62. So just be cautious. I mean, I know it sucks. We're living in a weird time. But you got to ask yourself a question, and that question is, who do you want to put at risk? And are you willing to take the response? If you did get it and you put somebody at risk, are you willing to take the responsibility that you possibly were the cause of somebody passing away? Are you willing to carry that burden? Because that's a heavy burden, and some people, you know, that are young, they don't care about shit, and I understand. Fuck the system and fuck everything. We've all been there. We've all been teenagers. We've all been young adults. We say fuck this and fuck that and be rebellious and everything. Yeah, and then what's gonna happen if you went to that one party that you know you shouldn't have gone, but you decided because your best friend was there or because there was a good looking person, and you bring something to your family, and that was, you know, that was a thing that causes somebody to pass away, or even worse. I mean, passing away is already bad, but what would have happened if that person was on an O2 tank for the rest of their lives, on oxygen, because again, you went to a party, again, you shouldn't have went to, and you brought something back.
Yeah, and here's my thing, right? These are your only two choices, I think, right? I could be wrong, but these are my two choices that I think you have to pick and decide, okay? If you don't want to be vaccinated, right, then don't go out to big parties. Don't go out into big gatherings if you don't want to be vaccinated. So you know for sure you're okay. But if you are tempted and you really feel like you really need to go out and you really need to hang out with this group of people, then go get vaccinated. It's that simple. Like, honestly, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's that simple because at least you know if you're vaccinated, you have a high chance of not getting, you know, COVID. So you're okay if you go. I mean, still wear your mask, you know, but at least you know you're somewhat okay to know to go back home. But if you aren't vaccinated, then don't even do that. Like, I think,
you're gonna get your vaccine right now. We're working hard as we can in Contra Costa County. I work for the county, so I can tell you the people that are working behind the scenes, the nurses that dedicate their lives getting the vaccine and vaccinating people. Us, you know, working with the county and trying to get. Okay, go ahead. Us working for the county. We're working as hard as we can, and yeah, we're limited on resources, but we're doing the best with what we got. We're trying to make fucking a gallon of lemonade with fucking 2 lemons, okay, and fucking less than a pint of salt or sugar rather. So we're doing the best we can. We're working as hard as we can, and right now it's 65 plus that they can get vaccinated, and we're working to everybody else. Just be patient, you know. I know it sucks. I know we got to be at our homes, and you know, Zoom calls and stuff like that aren't the same as meeting people in person, but it's better than the alternative. And we're working as hard as we can, as fast as we can, with the resources that we got. And that's just the truth of the game. People over 65, again, go to cchealth.org/vaccinations, set up your MyChart and everything to get vaccinated. Because we will see you and we want to make sure that you're okay. But to everybody else, just, you know, wear your mask, 6 feet, all that. And I know it's scary, you know, to think that there's, you know, different variants, like the UK variant, the Brazilian variant, and the South African variant in the States. But we're going to get to you. You just got to be patient and continue to do your due diligence. And those vaccines will get to you. But, you know, right now we're just working the hardest we can with what we got. And we got very little. And so just be patient, please.
Yeah, please, guys. I mean, I think we all can agree we all want to be able to go out and hang out next year at least. If we can't this year, right? So let's just keep doing our part.
The fastest way to be able to do that, the fastest way to go out and get drinks and go with your buddies and go to bars and be able to have bars open actually.
And chase girls if you're one of those guys.
Exactly. Be able to look at the females and all that. And able to do all that, we got to do our part. And if we don't do our part, well, guess what's going to happen? Things get delayed and shit gets pushed back.
Yeah.
So it has to do with timing, right? If we can be patient now, then things will happen later. But if we can't be patient now, then things will happen way later. So the choice is yours, my friend.
Yeah. And just to bring a weird analogy, it's like in grade school, right? Like Remember when you used to want to go out on recess and your teacher would hold you back, or you wanted to like go to your next class but you couldn't because for whatever reason there was one student who just wouldn't listen and was obnoxious and you were all held accountable for it? That's kind of how that's just how it's going right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go to recess. I've been trying to go to recess, alright? I've been trying to go to recess, but I can't because someone out there is making my teacher hold me down. So here I go. So here I go, right? Here I go chilling, waiting. So come on, y'all. Like, I mean, I understand everybody, trust me, but come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, we all trying to go to recess, man.
Nobody cares about fucking English 101 or whatever the fuck we're reading, right?
Already.
But,
go ahead.
right. But like, I mean, we have to be a little bit patient. I mean, if that, remember, like, you gotta also. I mean, I know you're trying to be like, you know, I know you're responsible. You, Angel, you, Fuego Sonrisa. Sorry, Fuego Soul is responsible, but sometimes we got to put other people in check too, because if we got that one fuck up student who keeps fucking up, nobody's going to be able to enjoy recess. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to put them in check. If they keep fucking up and doing shit, we got to put them in check. That's our responsibility as a citizen and as a person. Like, just a basic human being. Like, imagine, like, we couldn't be open because one fuck, you know, ends up doing some shit in class.
Exactly.
You know?
No, I totally agree. Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. Like, that's why I like. Well, one, I'm grateful that you know shared something personal like that. Like, seriously, that was freaking. That's like cool and, you know, hella sad too. Like, for real. But, you know, like, but that's just my thing. Like, yeah, like, we all just have to be responsible. We all have to check people. Like, even if it's your family, even if it's your friends. And I might go a little on the left on a small little tangent, but I'm just gonna say it. If you're afraid of losing somebody who quote unquote is your friend because you're telling them something that's gonna help them, and they don't see it or they don't want to acknowledge it, then I mean, what did you really lose? Like, what do you lose? So, you know, just keep doing the right thing. Keep, you know, staying 6 feet apart, not gathering, and, you know, everything else is gonna get better. Just wait on it.
Yeah, I mean, if that person, like, let's say you have a good friend, right, and that person just keeps going wild and stuff like that, and just doing hella shit, you know, going to parties and shit like that. I mean, like, you gotta ask yourself, what's the risk and what's the reward? I mean, I know it sucks, and nobody wants to go through that. It's a tough conversation, and nobody wants to go through that conversation, but at the same time, you gotta have to. Like, imagine, imagine that was your best friend, right? Your best friend went to parties and stuff like that, and then they gave you COVID, and then you gave it to your dad or your mom or your sister or your aunt or somebody really close that you really care about, and they passed away because of that. You did your part, but your friend didn't. So, like, what's going on there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And also, too, some respect. Like, if you really are homies, like, you know, it's a give and take. Like, hey, sometimes you're gonna have to do things you don't want to do because that's your homie and you want the best for them, just as they will do for you. So, nah, man, for me it was a pleasure. I don't ever feel like a burden, like, because you really were like telling me things and being insightful and, you know, just explaining your life. You never once told me, hey, stay home. Like, you better stay home or we're not friends. Like, you never said anything like that. You were just telling me, hey, look, this is what could happen. And for me, like, I would stay home and think about it and just be like, well, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go hang out. Oh, yeah, you know, oh, there's gonna be girls, or oh, there's gonna be a party. Like, it's cool. I'm like, yeah, but that sounds fun. But okay, I come back home, I might have it. You come over, we do a podcast. Bam, you got it. Now you go home, you get your family like sick or worse, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just something that it really was bothering me. I'm like, bro, am I really gonna be this irresponsible? Like, nah, this is my boy. I have his back, and nah, like, I'm gonna sit my ass here.
No, I appreciate that.
You know, like,
when my dad passed away, I even called you that same day because I know there's a lot of fucking information on the internet and stuff like that, but I'd rather you hear it from the source. Like, I want you to know somebody that has passed away. I know it sounds weird or whatever, but I want you to be able to experience that because that just puts things into perspective. And sometimes we all need a little bit of a wake-up call, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We hear things about other people and things about the news, and sometimes it doesn't feel real because you know, the news is talking about, they always talk about negative shit and or whatever, right? Or they'll talk about some shit that's super like far away or doesn't feel real. But if you hear it from somebody who you're close with and somebody you care about, you know, it will affect you, and hopefully it affects you in a good way and in a way to make smarter decisions, like being able to analyze things and see things for you know,
for what's going on. Yeah, what's going on.
What they are. Yeah, not
bullshitting.
not bullshitting yourself or anybody else, but being able to see things for what they are, not just doing whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, on that, just, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, be safe, stay 6 feet apart.
I gotta head to the restroom, sorry.
Stay 6 feet apart, you know, do your due diligence, do your research as well, you know, and, you know, just be more, I don't know what the word is, but basically be more respectful and understanding and empathetic towards other people too. But I understand, you know, we gotta get groceries and stuff too. I mean, I still go out like to go get my groceries, or, you know, when I do like my little flips and stuff, I still go do that. But I wear my mask. I try to stay 6 feet apart, and, you know, I just try my best to stay at home as much as I can, just to be safe. But, you know, I mean, I still do other things as well. I don't just sit home and lay here, and, you know, I got other goals. And I guess it's a cool segue. Mrs. Sonrisa will join me in the segue, and we can always go back to this, so it's all good. But just a quick segue, like, this is the perfect time for you to get on your stuff, get on your grind, or understand yourself, or to let past emotions from past effects that have traumatized you. This is the right moment to address all those. I think so. Because right now that we're home, basically my segue kind of, we can go back to COVID, but my segue was kind of like, right now, since how COVID is going, is the perfect time for you to like address whatever problems or whatever things that are holding you back, or whatever goals you have. Is like, right now is the perfect time because we don't really have a lot of distractions. You know, instead of
That's
just...
a good point.
Yeah, instead of like, real quick, just like, instead of like, because I was saying like, if I'm laying here, I was saying like, I'm not just laying here on my bed. I'm not just like being all like bored and stuff. Like, I'm actually trying to be productive. So that's kind of my thing. Like, I hope everybody else is taking this time that we have, because we're honestly blessed with this time. Like, yo, what were you doing in 2019? What were you doing? Way more different things, right? But probably wasting a lot of your time. Now you have no choice but to use your time wisely. So, you know, that's just how I see it.
You know, it's funny because it took a pandemic to make us realize things, but hey,
thank you.
It's better. Sometimes there's blessings in disguise, right?
Always.
For me, I guess, I mean, I've taken a step back. Like I said before, I mean, I lost a job because of the pandemic, and I gained a job because of the pandemic. So I mean,
that's still fresh though, by the way.
It's so weird, right? And there's some blessings in disguise, and I'm able to work for the county and be able to be on the front lines and help be able to administer the vaccine. But right now, you know, excuse me, I've been able to take a step back because of the pandemic, and like you said, because we don't have all these distractions, all these outings and shit like that, parties and festivals, and, you know, usually, you know, our generation gets more involved with, like, we don't really buy things, but what we do is we do invest our time in, like, you know, fucking Coachella and concerts and all that kind of stuff. And those are you know, those are cool things, and I'm so happy once things come back. They will. Yeah. But they are distractions. They are entertainment. That's something that we use as a way to distract our everyday lives. Now that we have this time, like you said, you got to spend it wisely, because once we, you know,
once COVID's over, it's over.
Yeah, time is a higher commodity than money. And why do I say that? Because money comes and goes. Like, you can make money, you can lose money, you can find ways to, you know, hustle and things like that. Get an extra $1, $2. But once you lose that time's gone forever. It's never coming back. So you got to think about, like, taking time to analyze where you're at in your life and what you want to do with your life, and and stuff like that. And yeah, you may not have the answer right now, but starting on something is better than doing nothing.
For real. For real. And yeah, for real. Like, I just like, for me, I just like been getting on my purpose. Like,
dude, you've been so focused and motivated. I don't even know what to say.
Stars, honestly, for the man out there, starts with no jacking off, no porn, bro, no fat, bro. I mean, I don't know, like, there, you know, like, there's like, I'll get more into detail once I do. Like, for me right now, I can speak, but I just want to do a little bit more studying. I guess it's just a spoiler. That's probably gonna be my next episode on my podcast. Just spoiling it out there. But anyways, to me, I noticed that like when I stopped, right? Okay, so basically how I learned about all this was like these 4 dating coaches. They're called like what they call themselves, and I agree. They're called like the 4 horsemen of game. You got AMS, shout out AMS, shout out Steph is Cold, shout out MJ Get Right, shout out FitX.
Yeah, you know them all.
Yeah, they're the 4 horsemen. They're fucking, man, I follow all of them. Mm-hmm. They're all cool. And you know, like as I'm watching the content and everything, they, you know, they're talking about NoFap, and I'm like, NoFap. I'm like, oh, NoFap. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna lie, like I was a simp and I did watch porn and, you know, did my things. Anybody under the age of 18, please do not hear this. Please. But
hey mom, what's porn?
But that was NoFap.
What's a fap? Is that a diet? It's a diet of something else, I guess.
It's I was trying to thought that was funny. But yeah, so you know they were like talking about it, so I'm like, no fapping, like no porn, no what, like no checking off, like what are you talking about? So I guess like, so the cool thing about it is that you build like this. First, it was like to build this like masculine like energy, because I felt like I was like really depleted of it, and I never knew why. Like I never knew, like I was like so soft and so like, which I don't think. I mean, I think it's okay to have a heart. I think it's okay to have a heart, because I have a heart, but. You know, like being pushed around and stuff like that, or like not defending yourself, or you know, whenever a conversation happens, you like back up. You know, it's just things like that occur in life as a man, and you have to be ready for those moments. No matter how much it sucks, like you have to. So, you know, I felt like I was like missing a lot of that energy, and I was like wondering, you know, I never like really thought about it, but I was wondering, like, I'm like, man, I feel so soft, like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt feminine. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, I'm a man, I shouldn't feel feminine, you know, like I shouldn't feel feminine. This is weird, like I don't get it, like am I being feminized? What the hell's going on? So yeah, and I started hearing them, and then they're like, yeah, don't fad, that's how you start building your masculine energy. I'm like, oh, you know, obviously, right?
Building that testosterone, son.
Exactly. You know, right? Like
those balls dropping.
Exactly, right? You know, like I'm not gonna, of course I'm gonna be skeptical, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, well, yeah, right. But I'm like, fuck it, I got nothing to lose. Like I'm in COVID, like I got nothing to lose. Like what am I doing? Yeah, bro. Like so I started maybe December-ish, like the beginning of December, like right at the end of November till now. And at first I was like, nah, like I don't even know what they're talking about, but now I know what they're talking about. I'm like, yeah. So
can you explain a little bit more about that experience, or do you want to explain it on your podcast?
No, that's cool. It's cool, because I'm kind of gonna go on a different route.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why it's perfect right now. So I was like, yeah. So like first I was like, okay, I started feeling a little more manly. Like, all right, cool. Like, so basically my weaknesses were like, I was afraid to approach women, like random women. I was afraid to approach them, or if I was like one-on-one with a chick, I'm being so honest right now, fuck it. Like when I was one-on-one with a chick, sometimes I would get nervous, like I would just like freeze up, like I would get scared, like oh shit, like.
What do you think caused that?
2 things. One, I think it was because I had feminine energy, a lot of it, and feminine energy is more like, you know, submissive, more like, you know, you're passive,
agreeable and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't have a backbone. You just let everything happen, like, you know. And that's kind of how it was. Like, I would just let things happen to me. I wouldn't really like. I mean, I would, you know. Don't get me wrong. It's like I have been in fights and stuff, but it just was like I wasn't like understanding of it. I was just more like, oh, like if somebody disrespected me, I wasn't like, whoa, hold up. It was more like, it's a joke, he's funny. And then they kept going on with it, like the bullying. And I never understood it. I never understood that was the reason why, because I was so passive. Mm-hmm. I would get bullied, and that was the reason, because I didn't have a backbone. I wouldn't stand up for myself. So anybody out there who has a bully, stand up. Who cares if you get whooped? Like, who cares?
Maybe that was your coping mechanism. Like, that was your way of relieving the tension of the room, or that was relieving yourself.
Definitely, because I was trying to avoid it.
Exactly. You were avoiding conflict.
Exactly, and that's something that I felt I didn't have, because obviously I felt more feminine. So I was like, shit, like, fuck that. I'm not trying to like get in a fight, or I'm not, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not saying you have to fight everybody in every single moment like that. I'm just saying, like, in general, if someone really disrespects you, like they really do, like, you're not gonna just take it. Like, you're gonna stand up.
You tell them something. You don't have to be a fucking asshole, but you can say something.
Yeah, exactly.
Be confident.
Yeah, exactly. And if it escalates, bro, then it escalates. It's just how it goes. It's just how it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just how it is. So, because dudes, they're gonna check you. They're gonna want to see how strong you are, and if they realize that you're a pushover, oh man, that's where the bullying starts. So
fucking, you're a doorman. They're gonna live all their fucking shit on their shoes on you.
Yeah, man and woman, but man, right now I'm talking about man, because that's a man's life. Like, as a man, this is gonna happen. Okay, you can't escape none of this. As a man or as a woman. I mean, as a man, as a man, a woman, they have their problems too. But as a man, you're gonna get it from man and woman. That's just the truth. That's just how life is, and deal with it. Okay, be a man.
Women want to test. Women want to test your masculine energy. They want to see, will this guy be able to defend me if something happens? Yeah. Will this guy lead me in case something? If I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do, will this guy be able to lead me? I mean, women are attracted to
a masculine man.
To masculine. I call it energy, but yeah, masculinity. They want somebody who wants to be there for them. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not asking for an asshole guy to just tell them what to do. And
yeah,
exactly.
They're not asking for that. Or get their ass whooped by a man. They're not asking for that.
That's not even.
They're not even
that's
asking
being
for that.
An asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not even being cool.
That's just being so
first of all,
dickhead.
So first of all, no, we're not even saying that. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying go hit a woman. You're tripping. You're fucking tripping.
You're gonna go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not get $200. Yeah. Nah. Being masculine is taking leadership roles. Being decisive, knowing what you want, things like that. I mean, women want that because, in a way, they already have that in themselves, but they don't know how to express it. If that makes sense. Like they already, like, some of them already have their jobs. They have their dream career. They're making good money and stuff like that. Some women want to have kids, and that's okay. And some women don't, and that's okay too. Mm-hmm. But we're talking about most women. Most women want a guy who's strong in the sense of like strong will, like being able to say I don't know when you really don't know and not bullshitting, being able to lead when there's 5 different restaurants in the vicinity, stuff like that. I think women are seeking someone who's a leader. Even the ones that are CEOs and stuff like that, they want somebody who leads in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. So I guess for me, right, like, that's just. I'm trying to remember where the hell I left off before I went on.
We were talking about masculine energy and
NoFapping. I know NoFapping.
NoFapping.
Oh, right. So, yeah. Thank you, brother. All right, so, so like that was one thing, right? That was one thing that I was like kind of tripping about, that I was like missing. I'm like, damn, what the hell? Like, what's going on? So, right, first I started with that, then I started noticing it. I'm like, oh, okay, what they're talking about is cool. And then it was like, okay, well, since you're not really depleted on that energy, now you have more energy. Like, the crazy thing about it is that first you feel like the masculine energy. This is my perspective. This is how my life was, right? Everybody's different, and some people can live this life with fapping. So I'm not saying everybody needs to NoFap. I'm just saying, like,
this is just his personal experience.
This is for somebody who really is unmotivated and doesn't know where their purpose is, but is trying to figure it out. Like,
there's a man.
Yeah, and is a man. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they have goals, they have dreams, but they're not really doing those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not really pursuing them, even though they have them. Now, to the people who really are just wasting their time and don't really care, which, I mean, to them, they're not wasting their time, so for sure. But the people who really aren't trying to be on their purpose and aren't trying to do all that, then, you know what I'm saying, this is not really for you. But for the people who are like, or for the men who are like, you know, I got a purpose, I got goals, but they're not really pursuing them. What I notice is like, okay, well, now I have this built up energy, and it's crazy because I would not let myself be a procrastinator. Like, I won't. Like, I won't. Like I'll think of something I need to do. Like, okay, I need to write out what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and you know, subconsciously my mind goes, because this is me before. My subconsciously it'll go like, it'll say like, oh hey, don't worry about it. We'll do it later. We'll do it tomorrow, right? Right? So then I will lay down, right? Or I'll lay down, or I'll sit back on the couch, or whatever the hell I'm doing at the time. And then I just go like instantly, it just goes like, yeah, right. Boom, I get up and I go do it.
So can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Is that masculine energy, or is that just good habits, practicing good habits? Because at the same time, while you're like, let's say you're building up your testosterone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're also building up new habits, changing up your old habits. So when you see something in your mind that says, oh no, you immediately dismiss it and just do something about it, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you is it masculine energy, or is it just building good habits?
I say that's a good question, and I would say both. I would say the masculine energy and or testosterone, because that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're definitely right on that, and I thank you for that. That's the drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the drive to get you to make those habits.
Mm.
So that's basically what it is. Like, that's basically when your mind is trying to make you procrastinate, they just comes in like right away and tells you, yeah, right, go do what you gotta do. And then, you know, over time, obviously it becomes a habit, because then, you know, you notice that like when another procrastination thought comes up, you subconsciously already know as well, like, yeah, right, I gotta go do it, and then you end up doing it. So I think it's a drive. I think that's like the starting point. I think if you NoFap, I think that's the beginning of starting all the habits that you always wish to have. Instead of feeling like, you're like, yeah, you know. And I have so many different habits now that I don't have. I mean, I still keep some, you know, some vices and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. But for the most part,
lit. No, I'm
you know
kidding.
what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's like, you know, for the most part, it's just like, it got me on the right path. It got me on the right track. And it's only been, like 2 months that I've really been sticking to it. So I'm just more excited to what the hell is coming up next. And it's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I have my days, or I have things like, for example, like when I'm reselling or whatever, I get like, I just got a return the other day, you know, and it was my mistake. And things happen like that. Or I'll get a hella sales and I'm hella juice, and then one day like something happens where I can't go, or the time is wrong and stuff.
Good point.
You know, and because nothing is perfect, but that drive is what excites me, because I'm like, I always know that I always can fall back on it, because I made it to the point where I can't make myself feel super lazy anymore, because now it's a bother to me if I'm lazy.
You know what? You know what's interesting?
It's a
I know you
bother.
talk about masculine energy, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of thinking in a different perspective. I'm thinking like in a way where. So you're talking about like you not doing something for a certain amount of time. So everybody knows about like intermittent fasting and
Oh yeah.
and being able to not start, but being able to withhold food to be able to, so your body can use fat as the primary energy source, right?
Exactly.
That's what fasting is supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And so here I'm hearing you talk about fasting, but fasting in a different way. So you're fasting in not you know, shooting your gun, so to speak. you're not.
Okay.
So it's. I would think it's more of a. You're talking about masculine energy, which I can see why you would think that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking of it in a way, like in a self-disciplined manner, where you're putting yourself in a situation where you have the opportunity to do something, but you choose not to, and you practice choosing not to, in order to build up that skill. So you're choosing to do things that are hard instead of doing things that are easy. It's easy to be lazy. It's easy to do things. You know, it's easy to eat junk food and do things like that. But you know what's hard? It's hard to say, you know what, I'm not gonna jack off for a certain amount of time. It's hard to to stick to a plan, but you do it. So I'm thinking of it in a way where maybe it's more of like psychology, also part of it, where you're doing a self-discipline training, where you're training, not to do certain things, but it's building, that way when you do something, you enjoy it. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's two things. Number one is, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't matter. I mean, that doesn't matter. I'm sorry. It's not for everybody, right? It's not for everybody. Everybody has their own life and different things, how it works for them and how they don't. This one for me worked for me. And then number two, it's like, with reselling, I was already reselling, I was already reselling before I got on the NoFap. I think this is my third year now reselling.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm barely like seeing the benefits. And yeah, this is the truth. That's just how it goes. That's just how it's just how it goes. Like, you're not gonna get it right away. Some people do, and they're lucky, and I'm grateful for them, and I'm happy for them. But for myself, like, it wasn't like that. And for me, like, even though I was doing it, I never felt as motivated as I do now to resell because I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like, before I used to be like, and it's true, and I'm sorry for anybody who hears this who was a seller, or not seller, who was like a buyer from me. I mean, I have good, like, what I sell is cool. It's not like messed up, but I'm just saying, like, my time with it, I would like lag on it, like, oh, I got a couple days to ship it, I could wait till the last day. Now it's like, yo, when I make the sell, the moment I can go out and sell and send it, then I just go out and send it. It's like this drive. I'm telling you, it's this drive that I have in me that, like,
yeah, because you practice also, like I said, you practice your self-discipline. You practice to do things right away instead of procrastinating. You practice, so you develop good habits. You practice to do something versus not to do something. You practice.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I can still hear. Go ahead.
No, so my perspective, again, he talks about masculine energy, which possibly, we all know that testosterone has a lot to do with being able to do something, having energy and doing it, feeling motivated, and I put that in quotations. But actually, learning to be self-disciplined and waiting for something also has its benefits, right? So there has been several studies to show that if you can wait on your reward, there's more benefit than if you get immediate gratification. So, I think it was candies or donuts or something, where kids were in a room and they would put like a candy in front of them. And so they would see the ones who were more self-disciplined would not have the candy. And if they were to have more self-discipline, they'll actually get 2 candies. And the ones that have impulse control, they would only get 1 candy. And the kids that would actually have 2 candies felt more gratified. They felt like they actually did something. And so, again, it all ties to like self-discipline, building healthy habits. Again, you want to be the kid that's able to withstand the temptation of seeing a candy in front of you. That way you can get 2 candies in the future and actually enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna just to say like this, because I'm not really trying to like put you on the spot, or I'm not really trying to like get super personal, because that's your life. I'm not gonna ask, but my challenge is like this: if you fap and you don't believe what I'm saying, then try not to fap for those times and see what happens. And if I'm wrong, then go ahead and not talk smack, but if you want to, go ahead. But basically just rub it in my face, like, yeah, you were wrong, I knew that I was right. And I'll be like, for sure, I'll take the L, like, that's cool. But if you haven't even done it yet, then I don't know where the argument is, because I've been there. I've been the person who would be like, yeah, it's like what you're saying. Like, I totally agree with what you're saying, but I feel like that's exactly what I would have said if I was fapping. No disrespect. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. Because that's how I thought. And honestly, that's how I thought. Like I was like, nah, like I said, when I first heard about it, I was like, nah, they're tripping. Like, this is not true. Like, what do you mean? Like, I feel like, I mean, I knew I felt feminine, but I was like, nah, I feel like a man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, nah, I'm a man. Like, what the hell? But when I stopped, man, I'm telling you, it was like, man, it just everything just built up.
I don't even think.
And it was crazy. And it was crazy.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead,
I don't even think you're. I think we're talking about the same thing, but we're just talking about it in 2 different angles. So you're talking about not fapping, which builds testosterone, which helps actually have energy, right?
Yeah.
For a man, and for me, I'm talking about the same. I'm talking about the same thing, but in a different context. You're talking about building more. Sorry, excuse me. You're having your balls drop a little bit more longer, and building actually testosterone, which actually gives you, which we know gives you more energy. And how do we know? We know that people who have low testosterone versus somebody who has high testosterone, they get tired more easily, they get fatigued more easily. That's how we know that testosterone doesn't really it affects how much energy you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. And second thing, you're talking about. I know you're talking about energy, and I'm talking about self-discipline, and they may seem like they're different things, but they're actually 2 of the same coin. They're just on the opposite ends. You're talking about something that fulfills your entire body and puts you focused, and
it gives you that drive. Yeah, it gives you that drive.
It gives you. I don't even know how to. You're like putting the gas on the. You're putting your foot on the gas pedal, pretty much. Versus what I'm talking about is actually being able to avoid the pitfalls while you're driving.
What do you mean?
So you're talking about putting your foot on the gas pedal, right? We're gonna just talking about driving as an analogy.
That's
right?
cool. Yeah.
So you're saying if you don't fab, you're gonna have more energy to be able to do things that you probably wouldn't have done if you did, because you have more energy and you feel like you're more of a man. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, in order to do that, in order to be actually, battle the temptation to actually do it, you need to be able to build some sort of self-discipline in order to do that. Because it's so easy to just be like, hey, that's a hot girl, and then you go through the rabbit hole, and all of a sudden you're on fucking Pornhub, jerking off to a fucking blondie or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. That's super easy to do. Mm-hmm. But what's hard to do is knowing that you have a laptop and knowing that you have the access to go to whatever website you want, but not being able to do it, even when you're tempted to do so.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So you're talking about having the energy, having the drive to do something, and I'm just talking about being able to swerve your way around it. And I think those 2 are part of the same thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree too, cause like I said, the point about feeling like masculine. No, I agree with everything you're saying, but like what I'm saying is like, when it comes to masculine energy, the cool thing about it is like it gives you that drive. Like I said, for the people who are procrastinators and for the people who
I gotta take a pee break. I'll be back.
For the people who are like procrastinators, or for the people who are lacking like ambition. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the point. That is the point of no fapping, because then your body doesn't let you not want to do it, and then you build those habits and that self-discipline that Mr. Sonrisa or Senor Sonrisa was talking about. And then those are the benefits of it. So yeah, he's totally right on that. But my thing is just, all I'm saying is like, if you are lacking drive, if you are lacking ambition to actually pursue those, then I would consider not no fapping, because it did help me. Like, I had all these goals, all these ambitions, and at first it was like, because I wasn't working no more. I wasn't working at Marina no more, and I had to figure it out. Like, I had to okay, I'm gonna go on my dreams now, so I'm gonna go on my dreams, and I'm gonna try and get better at flipping, and I'm gonna try and be more of a minimalist and continue working on that path. Okay, and if I have to get a job, then I'll get a job, and then I can pay off my bills, and I can continue. Okay, then that was accomplished, and then I was like, okay, well, what's next to do? And then I was like, okay, basically what I'm saying is like, I totally agree with like what you're saying, but for me, because I was honestly talking about myself, but I was just saying like I had all these goals, right? I had all these dreams, and I never really did anything for them. And at first my drive was like, you know how I quit Marina, so I needed a job.
Yeah.
You know, and you were hooking me up with all the help, so thank you. Like, that was my thing. Like, that was my thing at first. That was my purpose. Like, okay, I need to pay these bills. I don't want to lose my spot. I need to get a job. You know, and then but besides getting the job, it was like, you know, I wanted to get better at reselling. I wanted to get Fuego Soul Entertainment going. And those were my drives. And now that I'm on it, like, you know, and now, you know, that was my thing. And then once I accomplished all that, then I kind of felt like, okay, well, I kind of did it. So what? Now what? And then I guess just now NoFapping just kind of gave me that drive, an even bigger drive to now really go and, you know, pursue those dreams and goals. And get a lot of other things done. You know, it got me working out more. Like, I work out damn near all the time now. Yeah, like, it got me more working out now, and it got me more confident, and it gave me more masculine energy to, like, if I wanted to approach a girl, like, I mean, like you said, it's self-discipline, you know? But at least it gives me that drive to be like, okay, now it gives me the hope of, like, okay, I can approach a random girl. To before, where it was like, I would have to think about it a couple times before I approached a random girl. But no, you're right on the self-discipline. Yeah, that's for me, was like, that was my drive to get me to basically work on my self-discipline, to make those habits.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was my thing. That was just, what I'm saying is, like, that's the drive. It's not like you can still do it without. That's why it's not for everybody. But that was just my case.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's different, and you know, everybody. We're talking about men specifically, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about men specifically.
Yeah, specifically. Yeah.
You know, the best way to start is just start on yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
you talk about not fapping, but
Yeah.
you also did a lot of other things, you know, to where you were, you know, you started exercising,
Yeah.
which also helps build testosterone. You stopped eating crappy food and shit like that. So
Yeah.
we're talking about, like, being a man that you want to be. So, you know, it starts, you know, start with something small. It doesn't have to be like, for you it's not fapping, and it works great for you, but that for a lot of guys, that's like a big goal. You know, that's a big thing to give up. You know, that's the fucking peak of the fucking Mount Everest, right?
I'm sorry though.
You know, maybe start cutting down, like,
It just hit me, like, at the same time, like, yes and no, and it was just like, so, like, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just so perfect. But
so
my bad.
For you, that was like, that was the pinnacle of what you were doing, right? That was the top of Mount Everest. For a lot of guys, maybe, you know, you could start with that, but that's going to be a real tough.
Oh, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Oh, yeah.
that wasn't what I started with. I started with my main drive to get where I'm at today was the fact that I quit my job and I had to figure my shit out. That was my drive. It had nothing to do with fapping. I was still fapping at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was still fapping at the time. You know what I'm saying? Anybody under 18, you better put your earplugs on. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I still was.
Yeah.
But once I accomplished it, all my drive left. Like, I still have Fuego Soul Entertainment. I still have my Freestyle Fridays. I still had the podcast going. But I wasn't, like, as driven anymore because I'm like, hey, I got a job. You know, basically, I was getting comfortable.
You were content.
And I was like, and I was trying to avoid that as much because I'm like, no, I got this far. Like, I can't just give it up. Like, I can't just conform. Like, I want Fuego Soul to go. I want these podcasts to pop. And then when I ran into NoFap, it's like, I don't know, it just magically appeared on me. Like, I saw a video and I was like, all right, let me try what I got to lose. I'm in COVID, right? Like, I can't go anywhere. Like, I got nothing to lose. And shit, it's just fucking, I did it. And my drive just came back like times, I don't know, like Super Saiyan 3 or something.
So for you, it started with the losing your job and having to get income, right?
Yeah, that was my drive.
That was,
yeah.
And to some people, you know, that's a big drive. Like,
Exactly.
you can't just let your family starve, or you can't,
Yeah.
you know, you can't have, you know, you can't just be on the streets, right? That's a big
Yeah.
fucking motivation. Like, hey, it's time to get your shit together. If not, in 2 months, you're probably gonna get kicked out and be homeless.
Yeah, even yeah, I'm reaping the side effects now. Like, honestly, like, now I'm starting to see things that I'm like, damn, I was tripping.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes, you know, and to some people who don't have that, you know, congratulations. But to some people who do want to be a better man, you know, I say, you know, this is just me, but start with something small. Like, If you're going out and drinking a lot of beer, you drink 3-4 beers a day, start by just cutting down by one.
Yeah.
Start with small goals. You know, maybe you don't need to have fried food every single day, or you know, maybe you don't need to eat out. Maybe try cooking from home and learning something like that, or
texting hella girls.
That's another addiction too.
Right.
Like I think you're right about it. You want to talk about that more, please?
Sure. I kind of like where you were going. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like where you were going, but it's all good. So I guess another benefit too, right? About NoFapping. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but another cool thing about NoFapping, right? Another cool thing about NoFapping is like, girls can smell that shit on you. I'm just saying, they know you haven't, so because they feel that energy. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, wait a minute, oh, like I don't know, it's an attraction for them. So for one, it gives you more options. I'm just saying, but I don't know what the hell. Oh yeah, so right, so then also what's cool about it is that, you know, it kind of gives you that like self-respect, and it also gives you the ability to not really want to go pursue girls and, you know, kind of lower yourself as a person, because it does hurt. Who doesn't like rejection? Men and women don't like rejection. Girls definitely don't like rejection, but men, we obviously don't like rejection. So like, imagine you with like, I don't know, I just want to end NoFap. I don't even want to talk about NoFap no more. But like, no, because it's just like, it's gonna just keep going back to, it's like, we're not arguing about NoFap, we're just talking about NoFap.
Yeah, we're just talking.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just
I'm not,
a conversation.
yeah, like I'm not arguing about NoFap. I'm just like talking about it. But you know, imagine how many times you're like rejecting these girls and stuff, and then I don't know, once you have like that testosterone, I'm not even gonna say masculinity anymore, it's testosterone, right? Once you have so much of it, like, man, like, I don't know, you just kind of don't care anymore, and you're not really out there trying to really like look for girls. Like, you're just out there living your life and enjoying it, and, you know, girls randomly just pop up to you, and you don't even feel like cocky or anything about it. You're just like, yeah, this is how it goes, like, this is how it is. And I don't know, to me, I think it's just something cool. So for a lot of guys, like, I know Valentine's coming up, and I know other holidays pop up, and I know that you want to keep hitting up these girls, especially if you're young. I totally understand, because I was there, you know. I was there.
We've all been there.
You know what I'm saying?
All
like,
guys have been there.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I spent my whole 20s, like, damn near doing it. Like, until one day just hit me, like, bro, I'm fucking tripping. Like, you need to get your shit together, but there's another story, even though it's part of all what we're talking about. But, but you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, nah, man, come on, like.
So, I think you have a good point about self-discipline, and you talk about self-discipline through not doing FAP, which is really good, and also not seeking approval from other people, which is part of the reason why people, well, us guys, the thing with us guys is we have, you know, big balls, and we have testosterone. So part of the testosterone makes us think about women and sex and stuff like that. And
but
that's part of being a man. Right?
Exactly.
That's part of being a man. That's what a man is.
That's why we're here.
You know,
that's why we're here. We're
here
to reproduce.
If we're talking about biological speaking, we're talking about the what is it? I think it's called the Red Queen hypothesis, where we're trying to make as many people as we can to be able to diversify the gene pool, in order that way if a disease does come in, it doesn't just wipe out our entire species, right? So part of being a man is being able to shoot your shot inside the woman and being able to diversify the gene pool, so that when you do have kids, they have diverse genes and they can be able to resist certain diseases and viruses and stuff like that. Anyway, part of being a man is being able to thinking about sex and stuff like that, and which is completely understandable. But what takes a lot of time and effort is being able to say, you know what, I know this is part of me, stuff like that, but I'm gonna take the time and effort to not give in to temptation, right? Yeah. And sometimes, you know, for those who want to try it and go with Fuego's route and try not to fap, I would say at least try it for a month and see what happens. You know, see what happens. Do you have more energy and stuff like that? Try to be honest with yourself. Don't try to lie, cheat, or steal. Be honest with your perspective. Go whole month. I know a few years ago there was like a NoFap January or something like that.
Oh yeah, no nut November.
That's what November. There was a no nut
November. Yeah.
But try it. You know, I mean, it's a practice of self-discipline, And if you can do that, well, you can accomplish other things. And if you don't, it doesn't mean you're a bad person or anything. You just gotta try again.
Sorry, go ahead. Just so I can be very specific on this. Here's my thing, right? If you're going to NoFap, I'm not saying like, I mean, if you give up a month or two, and like if you have chicks, I mean, if you have a girlfriend, I mean, honestly, I'm not like, I don't know, I don't even know why I don't even know why you're fapping, but that's just, but for anybody like who's single or whatever, like, what I'm saying is like, go a month or two, try it out, right? And after that, if you already gone a month or two without doing it, don't go back to it by like watching porn. Like if you have chicks who are like hollering at you, I would recommend use that energy on that instead. Don't just resort back to porn. But if you have no girls and you really don't care, you just want to try for the hell of it, then yeah, by all means go ahead and watch porn and finish it off. But I'm just wanting to be specific with it. Like I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't. Like for me, like I'm having, like I'm not fapping, but like if a chick comes through or like wants to kick it, I'm not gonna be like, hell no. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's cool, cause hell yeah. But I'd rather use my energy on that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it kind of gets deeper when it comes to girls, but I'm not gonna hit that today. But yeah, basically, you know what I'm saying? That's my only thing. That's the only time I will is because I'm with a chick, but not because I'm watching porn.
You know what? Yeah, I'm probably gonna give the opposite.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say something opposite, but I think it's completely
reasonable. Yeah, that's the
so
point.
I'm gonna say go a whole month, don't fap, and then fap, and then you'll feel the difference between fapping like once a week or twice a week or however many times a week you do it, versus being able to go a long stretch and then fapping. Meaning, you'll be able to enjoy it. I know it's weird, but you'll be able to enjoy it more after the month than if you were to do it constantly. Your body just gets accustomed to things. That's just how your body works. You're not gonna realize how much you miss it until you actually do it after a month, and your brain is gonna get filled with dopamine. You're gonna actually enjoy it more because you went for a period, or you didn't do it for a while, and then all of a sudden you did it, right? So follow Fuego Soul advice, go a whole month, and then you can either continue if you really like it and just see how it goes, and continue to see if it gives you more drive and stuff like that, and that's completely fine. And I think that's a cool way to do it, or you can just try it once, and see how it feels. If that makes sense. Like you'll actually be able to enjoy. It's like cutting out an addiction. If you cut out candy for a whole month and then you actually eat a candy, you actually enjoy it more than if you were to eat it every single day. So, we're just talking about the same thing.
Yeah, just addiction.
Just different things. Using different substances.
Yeah, because I mean, you can be addicted to anything. Yeah, but I mean, I guess just to stay on this, I mean, but I guess just so we can just like go back to like we can go back to like
let's go
back to like what the whole point was. We went so to the right of it or left. We went hella to a different side.
No pun intended.
Okay. Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. This podcast is fresh though. I'm not gonna lie. This episode is dope. But yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just like, man, I'm really enjoying this episode. But straight up, like, I don't know. From like, once I got that all going, like, I don't know. I just felt like my life got a whole lot better. It got me more responsible, and it just got me like focused on what I need to do. And I'm beyond grateful, honestly. And I'll keep you guys updated as I keep going on this journey. I'll let you guys know. But a little honey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I might meet somebody I like. I might meet somebody I like. I don't know. Like, shit happens. So, but
life is constant.
Yeah.
And dynamic. We don't know what to expect until we find out.
Yeah. But yeah, life's been cool, man. Life's been good, and again, just everybody be safe, and yeah.
And on that note, I mean, I really like the fact that we're talking about self-discipline and stuff like that. And I was listening to a podcast, which I really respect, with Michaela Peterson and Jordan Peterson featuring Mark Manson. and they were talking about.
Oh, what the hell? Y'all made one together?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was a pretty good podcast, and I recommend people go check it out.
Shit.
But they were talking about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. They were talking about like.
I kind of hear that.
They were talking about how sometimes right now we have, everything is so easily accessible. It's hard to think about a time where things weren't so easily accessible, and they're also talking about, self-discipline and the fact that sometimes it's better to have fewer options than a lot of options. And then they're also talking about, like, in Mark Manson's case, he was talking about how at one point he was somebody who was just going from one vine to another, and by vine I mean woman. So he was going from one woman to another, and he was actually scared of commitment. But him getting married was one of the best things he's ever done, because it limited the amount of options he has, and it quieted a noise in the back of his head where he doesn't have to think about, oh, does this girl like me? Does this girl doesn't? Do I gotta dress like this way or not? And so he was actually arguing, and they were talking about having less options is actually better for you. Yeah. We were just talking about how having less options makes it easier to make a decision than having almost an infinite amount of options.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. That's hella true.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Man, the more options you got, the worse it is.
Yeah.
No, honestly. I mean, I don't know. If you had like 10 job offerings, like, how hard would it be to pick one? Instead of you have like 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's called the paradox of choice.
Paradox of choice.
Yeah, where the more options you have, the less likely you are to make a decision.
Yeah, screw that. Yeah.
Like, your mind is able to do like 3 to 5 choices, but after that, it's like, it's all bad.
Hell yeah, it's like, I don't know, well, I guess an analogy is like, if you go to a store and you're looking for like, I don't know, this designer logo, but there's like 10 different shirts of the same designer logo, it's kind of hard to pick. Like,
exactly. It's
kind of hard to pick. Like, that's why I would just try to keep it as low as you could.
Keep it simple, guys. Don't try to be flexing and shit like that. Keep it simple. Life ain't complicated.
Yeah, I mean, flexing only hurts too. Like, I don't know, what do you have to flex about? Unless you really, like, I don't know. I guess for me, like, if somebody's, like, talking smack or, like, saying, like, I suck at something and then I show them wrong, like, I'd be like, yeah, I told you, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm the shit. I wouldn't say that, but I'd be like, yeah, I told you I got you. Like, I told you I was going to, like, beat you. Because, I get challenged and stuff like that, like, whatever it is. Or, like, on Super Smash or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell yeah. It's like, I may suck today, but give me some time, bro, and we'll see who sucks. Yeah. And that's just how.
Well, I mean, flexing hurts you in a way where, I think it hurts you in a deeper way, right? Mm-hmm. If you flex, that just means you're insecure about something. And if you're insecure, then that means there's something going on. There's a reason why you're insecure, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, part of the reason why people flex is because of insecurity. Because let's talk about people who are really successful, they don't flex. People that are making hella money, I mean, they're not flexing as much as they could. They could be flexing.
Oh, hell yeah.
They could be showing a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, that's a whole, like, insecurity thing, and that's a whole different conversation. But my thing is, like, I was going to go with saying, like, if you flex, it's bad because then you're trying to be a persona of yourself, and then you're trying to be somebody who you're not. And then you have to live out that persona for the rest of your life. Because people are going to know you of that persona versus of who you really are.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, hell yeah. I don't know, exactly what you're saying is exactly what I think. Like, yeah, like, you want to be known as the person who's, like, always flexing and like that. It's like, people are going to know you by that, and people aren't really going to want to, like, I guess the right terms is, like, fuck with you. Like, they're not going to want to. Like, they're going to be like, nah, this dude is always flexing. Like, do I want that on my brand? Like, is it worth it to be on my brand? Like, one thing's to be confident, but another thing's like to like brag about being confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different. Like,
well, there's, confidence is a spectrum, right? Confidence, you can be confident, you can be overconfident and you can be underconfident.
Yeah.
Overconfident, nobody wants to be around that person because.
Or a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a know-it-all.
I would think those two are like similar, no?
Overconfident. Yeah.
If you're overconfident in your intelligence, then you think you know it all, and therefore you just.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
If you're underconfident, then you don't try as hard, or
you just don't.
Yeah, or try, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're confident, which is a happy medium, what everybody's trying to achieve, you know, it's a balance thing.
Yeah, like you can be super confident, but just not like brag about it.
Exactly.
You know, like I think everybody, I think everybody should be super confident, but as long as they're not like bragging about it, I think it's like, you know, it's kind of cool, like just for that. Yeah, because I don't know, I would want everybody to be confident because everybody has dreams, everybody has goals. Like I would want everybody to achieve their goals or their dreams or their passions. You know, I don't know. That's just how I see it. Like
you're very optimistic. I like it.
I have to. Yeah.
I mean, I would say.
It's just, I'm sorry. There's just so much bad out there that like, it doesn't bother me because there has to be a balance, right? There has to be bad, there has to be good, but I'd rather be on the good side because it feels a whole lot better for yourself.
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, if you were to actually take time for yourself and actually work on yourself, and by working on yourself, I don't mean like avoiding something or anything. I mean actually taking the time to find out what you're trying to hide from. Usually what you're trying to hide from is the exact same thing you need to be doing. Yeah. The exact same thing. Whatever you're trying to hide from,
I agree with you.
Is probably the exact thing that you need to be doing at the very second. So you need to run towards it instead of hide. Because the more you try to hide, the worse it's going to get. Now we're talking about confidence, and we're talking about good things, and we're talking about that kind of stuff. You know, I always say, you know, always, you know, be aware of who you are and try to work on yourself. Don't let other people try to drag you down, of course, right? But then also it's like, think about the information you're getting. Really analyze things for what they are. Don't try to bullshit yourself. Don't try to do things like that. Try to see things for what they are, because sometimes things appear as one thing, but they disguise themselves as another. And what I mean by that, you know, there's a lot of bullshit out there, and there's a lot of shit that, you know, they try to sound smart, like alkaline diet. Ooh, sounds so smart. Ooh,
what the hell?
Me try like alkaline diet, like drinking alkaline water. Bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit out there that tries to sound like it's scientific and stuff like that, but really do your research and you'll find that it's not really anything. Just all I'm saying is be well informed. Try to do your research. Look at the evidence. You know, pretend if it's a murder investigation. You know, that's what, you know. I'm a big like science thing. You know, science is based on evidence, and if there's no evidence, then why are you gonna try to convict somebody who did nothing wrong, right? Or if there's an overwhelming evidence about something, then it's pretty easy that that person is guilty, right? So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. I might change gears a little bit.
Go ahead.
Just cause.
Change those gears.
Yeah, I just kind of want to feel lighthearted now. But you know, with a whole new year, like, you know what I'm saying, it's 2021, so
excuse me, gotta hit the restroom.
So you know, it's a good time to be alive, man. It's a good time to, I don't know, enjoy each other, man. And what I'm very grateful for is like this whole podcast, and I'm very grateful for all the support that we've had over the years, you know, from all our guests that have been on this show. Like, you guys have made this show more amazing, and I appreciate everybody who listens to what we talk about. Like, you know, like, the support is amazing, and I'm beyond grateful for it, because, you know, without you guys, like, we wouldn't be here. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we would still be making this podcast, and we would still be speaking our thoughts and bringing it out to the world, but it's nice to know that we have people out there who like really support us and are genuine and really really care about what we have to talk about. And I think it's like the coolest thing ever. And you know, we continuously focus on like working on getting better and working on our goals. And for myself, like I just continue to be a better person of who I was, a year or two ago. And the journey hasn't been as perfect as I wanted it to be, but at the same time I'm grateful for it because every single moment brought me to this point. And I just want to say a big thank you to everybody. Like, you guys have really been there for us and been there to support us. I was just saying, like, like we had our guests who like been there for us, and the support who's like been there for us. Like, it's nice, it's just nice to know that people like care about what we're talking about, and what we have to what we think about. And this podcast is like freaking cool. So I just want to say like thank you to you for for one being the backbone, because this podcast was almost not possible. You know what I'm saying? It was almost gonna die in like episode 3. Yeah. And here we are at season 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, so thank you. Yeah, so thank you. This far. Yeah, thank you.
And I've noticed that our podcasts have evolved, to something different. Yeah. It started off one thing, and I'm so glad it evolved to something else.
I really didn't even know where we were going at first. Like, I was so lost.
We were just, we
were just trying. Yeah, we were just trying.
Fuck it, man. I mean, this is a brand new year. We're gonna try our best. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was in the restroom again, so I didn't really hear what he said, what Fuego say. But I mean, I can just speak for myself and say just thank you to everybody who's been there from the beginning. Thank you for people who are coming new and just listening. Just thank you. We do our best. We're just 2 guys from the Bay Area.
Yeah, straight up.
We just talk about shit that we've experienced through our lives, and try to give guidance and be the best that we can be, so that way you guys can be the best that you can be. And who knows, maybe you'll find a gold nugget here that will motivate you to be a better person. And honestly, we just want the best for people. We don't want, all the money and glory and all that shit. That's all cool, whatever, right? Yeah. But we just want the best for people. We just want people to succeed. That's all.
Yeah, hell yeah. And for me, like, I appreciate, just the time that they take to listen to what we got to talk about. I know sometimes, like, we're, like, all over the place, but, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? We're just out here just chopping it up, having a good time.
Let's go.
So it's all the future guests, I just want to say, like, well, both of us, like, we just say, like, a big thank you, and, we just continue with this podcast and just be, as grateful as we can and keep it going.
Yeah, this podcast, to be honest with you, this is one of the things that I really look forward to. I really look forward to talking to people and having them listen to us and all that.
Hell yeah.
Alright, should we end it here?
Alright.
Let's go.
Alright, thank you guys. It has been a pleasure, as always. Your boy Fuego, out.
And this is Señor Sonrisa, and I just want to tell you guys thank you again, and que les vaya muy bien.